35 seconds and time. After that, the blood feels good. After that, the blood feels good. Feels good. 25 seconds. 10 seconds and time.
Thank you for that DVD video presentation. At this time, I'm going to invite a couple of his friends, Stephen's friends, Alex Utley and Brock, to come forward and share their thoughts of Stephen, and then to be followed by Nicole and Morgan, who are going to read some of his writings.
This is tough. When it comes to Steve, it's like, where do you start, you know? This guy embodies so many things, and there's so many things that needs to be said when it comes to my brother Steve. Steve was a priceless example of a person that embodied everything good. Stephen was always a peacekeeper. He was a soldier of sin, love, and knowledge. Stephen had this aura about him that would completely consume you. You couldn't help it. Stephen was like gravity. You could try to fight him, but he'd reach out and grab you anyways. Stephen genuinely cared about the people around him. He had the biggest heart out of anybody I've ever known. If you were one of those fortunate enough to have had a relationship with him, you know that he would do anything to brighten up your day, even if it wasn't bad. This man was truly remarkable in the way he lived his life, his attitude, his work ethic, his approach to life, his extraordinary character were all truly inspirational. Not to mention, Steve was the ballsiest, most fearless person I've ever known. This man had courage that was uncapped. Stephen was such an ambassador of what was right and fair. He didn't care if you were twice his size and could potentially kick his ass, he would check you anyways. That's the type of guy Stephen was. Stephen and I were best friends. We were brothers. We grew up together, and we grew as individuals together. My relationship with Stephen is one that's irreplaceable. After all, a man like Stephen can't be replaced. He was truly one of a kind. He was genuine, loving, thoughtful, personable, talented, brilliant, and incredibly unique in almost every way possible. He is without a doubt the best person I've ever known. We've been friends for over 10 years. and there was never a moment I questioned our friendship. Steve was so honest. He was so loyal and dependable. He was the best guy and best friend that anybody could ask for. The 10 years that I've known him, he's never done wrong by me or anybody, and that says a lot about who he was. Steve was loved by everyone who had the chance of knowing him, but the honor of knowing him. It was impossible not to love the guy. He brought so much to the table. He brought love and wisdom and an energy that can only be described as positive, optimistic, and understanding. Stephen's presence inspired me, and I think all of us, to love, to relax, and to achieve. One of the things I love most about Steve was his ability to keep an open mind to everything. There wasn't a concept or idea that Stephen wouldn't entertain. In large part, this allowed Stephen to be who he was, Steve-O. We had some of the greatest far-fetched, hypothetical, theoretical conversations that you can think of. Most of which were just based on ridiculous ideas, but that's what I loved about him. He'd entertain me anyways, he didn't care. His character is priceless. I learned so much from Stephen. His heart was always in the right place, which is something to be admired and something that has helped me build my character. Above all, Stephen taught me the importance of cherishing and not taking for granted the relationships and the time you have with your friends, family, and loved ones. Even after his passing, Stephen is still inspiring and influencing my life. I know Steve is still watching us, with us, and I'll live my life as such. His memory will live on with all of us, and I'm infinitely blessed to have had Steve in my life. He was a great dude. I love you, Steve.
Steve-O. We met back when we were 14 years old. I was new to Palo, didn't know any of these guys. I got invited to be in a band with Evan, and he picked Steve to be the guitarist. And that was how things got started, and that was the beginning of Steve becoming my brother. From that point on, I was taken back by a lot of different things with Steve. First, obviously, was the music, because that's how we got to know each other. He was an amazing musician, did things his way, stubborn, and it made him have his own sound. It's something that can't be replicated ever. Once I got to know him better, I started to learn about how smart he was, and also his thirst for life. And there's a combination of the two there that makes something really special for him. And just like Alex said, you know, we would stay up talking about the universe and random nonsense, but Steve's intellect was something that couldn't be matched by most people, anybody. But also that thirst for life rubbed off on everybody. I mean, Steve put everything into every project that he was in. He always had 1,000 things going on, but he never took away from one and put into the other. He used to show up to practice. Alex and I would be fooling around, drinking beers, listening to other people's music. And he would show up asking us how rock stars got famous by listening to other people's music. That same thing went for stuff that he wasn't even involved in. You know, you had something you were doing that he had